Okay, let's talk about movement. I'm going through this journey with you guys, just being completely candid with you because I wintered very hard this year. And I know we've all gone through different seasons of movement and sometimes we've been more active than others. And so I would like to speak to absolutely everybody on this, whether you're getting back into movement or you're a already established practitioner. All of these tips apply to you, which is so cool, right? I had a fitness watch and it was really great, but I decided to go ahead and stop wearing it. I decided to maybe simplify my life again. So I actually have an old school Armatron that I wear all the time. So I simplified my life in that way, but then I realized I lost my built-in health and pedometer type thing. So here's my totally not cool, but I'm definitely trying to bring it back move is I got this pedometer on Amazon that I will link to, but it's rechargeable with this little USB that it's got. And all it is a reset button. So at the end of the day, you reset it and that's it. So this is my old school pedometer and I clip it on and it honestly looks like a pager. It's pretty embarrassing, but I'm trying to rock it. I don't think that's really going to be a thing, but the best part about wearing a pedometer again and having it on these giant readout buttons is not only how cool I look, obviously, but I've learned to not be judgmental about what my number is at the end of the day. Now, there are a couple nights where I've really embarrassingly just been I'll run around the kitchen island a couple more times to hit whatever number I'm going for. I need you to look up your own number and what you think that is. What I've been using this for, instead of an opportunity to beat myself up, is an opportunity to learn on days that I am and am not moving. I'd also like to talk to everyone, whether or not you do and don't have kids, right? I know a lot of us parents and I am a parent, I get really involved in talking about my kids, but this applies to everyone. We all have jobs, whether it's being a student, a parent, or another job. And so we all have transitions in our day, right? So maybe after your morning or whatever time of day you work, before you work, you can transition, and after work, you can transition back into your life. So for me, it looks like drop off the kids. My transition to my work day is I've decided to start taking a walk, and I get back in my car, and then I drive to my job, which is my house, but it doesn't really matter. After I'm done with my day, I make sure that I save extra time to make sure I get a walk in before I get my kids and after my job. So again, I'm actively starting to make these transitions that I'm bookending my day with. It's more of an indicator of how do I feel on those days where I've had the 2 walks versus the no walks versus the 1 walk. And I think you'll start to notice the difference. So again, don't beat yourself up. How do you feel? Again, this is your invitation to explore how you are in your body. So rule number 1 this season is to just start moving again. If you're already moving, here's my goal to you. How can you switch things up? You have these spring energies, these new energies. Let's change it up a little bit. Whether you're intermediate to advanced and you've got these routines that you do, maybe there are some things that you've been considering that you've been wanting to try. Maybe there's some things that are starting to really just feel like a chore or you're burned out on. This is my invitation to you to explore something else or change up how you're currently doing things. There's your free pass. So with my momentum, and I hope your momentum, we can do this. Again, I'm not being paid for this. I'm just telling you years of trying to find good yoga apps. My favorite one still to this day is Down Dog. There's a link in the show notes, and I'm not getting credit for this. They don't even offer it, but it's generated practices. You can get as custom as the voice and the music. You can say what type. If you don't know the different types that are on the list, and there's a ton of them as you'll see here, just go ahead and pick any of them and explore it. You can customize it to as little as 5 minutes and as many as 80 minutes. And as with all yoga, my favorite part is when people say, I can't touch my toes, so I can't do yoga. I'm like, actually, yoga is exactly what you need, because literally all yoga is being in your body. If you are in your body right now and you are aware of your breathing and you're aware of how your body feels, wherever it is in space and time, whether you're walking or sitting or driving, you are actually doing yoga right now. It is a union of your breath and your body. So a lot of times, especially this winter, my yoga has looked like laying on the ground with a blanket on me, listening to meditations called yoga nidra, yogic sleep. Or I've been doing restorative yoga, which is literally just rolling around on the ground and stretching and moving and seeing what feels good. Yoga is for everybody. So again, There's no excuse. And if you run a little late, and you can still fit in 5 minutes of yoga every day with this app. And that's when you start to expand. So again, taking it slowly, taking it easy, that's a really great way to move. So as far as removing barriers, this seems to be the best app. Mobility and flexibility, they're the core of everything. If you don't use it, you lose it, is the old adage, right? We all need to be mobile in order to protect ourselves. So I say this is for everybody. My first recommendations are YouTube recommendations. They're free. One is a really great challenge you can try. It's a little more advanced, but then we've also got a lot of great options for seniors. So I've also included a link for seniors. I don't want the idea of fear of not being able to touch your toes to stop you from just diving in. You are exactly the person who needs to be doing mobility. I'm telling you right now, you need to be mobile. And this isn't a bullying thing. It's a, please take care of yourself. Of all the things in life we can and can't control, you can control this. Control it. Own it. Be more mobile. Everything will feel better when you're more mobile. So there's the challenges you can try. If you are willing to spend more money, I have 2 app options that, again, I know cost something, and there are plenty of free resources. These are just things I've experimented with and I've enjoyed. The first one I'm going to recommend is Stretch It. The reason I love their program is they obviously take this very seriously. It's not yoga, it's not Pilates, it's genuinely only about stretching. For this season, I'm personally trying the neck tension series. It's a 14-day challenge. The second app I really like is actually a CrossFit-based app. So my favorite app is GoWOD. It allows you to do a fitness mobility test and then see how you're doing. You can click on the button right here that says daily practice, and you can pick if you want 8 to 22 minutes. The reason I like GoWOD and Down Dog is that this is how much time I have. This is all I can commit right now, and it works with you to work within that. So this month I'm focusing, as you can see, I've just picked the 2 areas of my neck and my upper back, but you can also take the test and just start going with all the really cool stretches they have. Things I would have never thought of, and things that are, again, not yoga. It is purely stretching and mobility. The other thing is this app might look really scary because they do have a lot of really advanced poses, but right next to it under most of the poses is a thing called Easy Pose. So you just click on that and you can still do all of the same workouts. You also choose what equipment you have. So if you don't have any of this equipment, like if you're traveling or you just don't own it, like no worries, just unclick it and it will re-find other things for you to fill in the workout. So this, and honestly, between all 3 of these, Down Dog and GoWOD are I go back to again and again. They're just tried and true. You don't go through the Netflix syndrome of trying to find things, and by the time you finally find it, your time is up and you don't really have, it's just, hey, I have 10 minutes, I want to do an intermediate practice and I want it to be this. I have 8 minutes and I would like to focus on my shoulders this morning. One of the things we talked about, the seasonal energies, is just being in your body. One of the best ways you can do this is just paying attention to your breathing. So I've attached a really great YouTube free reference for just noticing your breathing again. But as always, there's Insight Timer. So Insight Timer is free and you can just click the button and do nothing, right? So I have an 8-minute timer with a bell at the beginning and a bell at the end, and that is it. And I just sit in silence. Now, if you want to, and you've got this Down Dog app, you can also try their meditation section, and they have tons of different types of meditations as well. So all good things to really check out. A really cool way to start to wake up, though, so being in tune with our breathing is important, but maybe we're ready to light some fire under things and get going. One of my favorite yogic breath work exercises is called Breath of Fire. Watch the YouTube video I've clicked. She explains it really well. You essentially stick your tongue out and you start panting like a dog for a while. And it sounds crazy. I know, weird. Check it out though. When you're done and you just sit there and stop for a second and you feel your body after you've done this really wild breath of fire thing, your body feels amazing. You've started to just waken up on a cellular level. It's just the coolest thing ever. So again, there's a video you can click on, try it, maybe. This time of year is also about our face. So we'll talk about face self-care in a different video. But as far as mobility in your face, if we think about it, you stretch your muscles and your whole rest of your body, your face has muscles too. So you can both stretch, but you can also tone your face and your jaw. I'm not sure that's widely known, right? But face yoga is a thing. I love this YouTuber. She describes all of the muscles you do and don't want to strengthen. So a lot of us, like everything here up, we already have too strong, right? Because we're doing this and everything's very, our jaws from our TMJ and everything, those muscles we actually want to loosen. Whereas other things like these guys, right? Like we want to tighten. It will actually make your face look physically different if you do 30 days of face yoga. And most of the people that do this, it's 5-10 minute exercise. It's really not a big deal. So again, maybe for you, what's resonating more is face yoga versus stretching. I'm currently trying an app called Lovely, and it really gets into face care and all of that along with the face yoga. So it's a comprehensive thing. So again, spreading energy, face and neck. What does that look like for you? I have covered a lot of topics. What I want you to do is pick one, maybe two, that resonated with you of what I just said, and go ahead and maybe check them out. This is your invitation from me to check out something that's interesting to you. You can't choose all of them. It's physically impossible. And if something's resonating with you more than another, that's your body and your brain and your mind telling you that this is what you should maybe be exploring right now. So it's not a beat up thing of I should, please don't should yourself on this. Listen to yourself. If anything I just said from all of the above, let's go over it again and we'll go over the list. We've got movement, which might be walking with a super cool pager pedometer or not. It could be trying yoga for the first time. It can be switching up the routine you already do. This is your invitation, right? That's your movement. For mobility, if you don't already have a practice, go ahead and check out some of these free resources or try an app. If you already have a mobility practice, I'm telling you again, go ahead and switch it up. Maybe try something new that you haven't tried before. Breathing, just being aware of your body and how it feels. Maybe try just simple meditation, simple breathing, sitting in silence for 8 minutes, or try some breath of fire and see how it feels. Maybe do that once and then just check out the other things in this video because it sounds cool. And then again, face yoga. So if you just want everything to look toned, look at pictures of before and after face yoga practitioners. It's wild. We need to take care of our faces muscularly. And again, we'll talk in another video about how we can take care of them from the soap and moisturizer aspect. So this is your spring invite, mobility. Yes, let's move again. We're awake. Let's do